This video is to show you how to demonstrate the test with tap water. So, ideally you have 2 glasses, but you really only need 1. Make sure it's glass, not plastic or whatever. So fill it up with tap water. I know you probably don't drink tap water, but that's part of the point of this test. Smell the tap water, taste the tap water. Then wave the card. You can blow this way or this way, it doesn't matter. For 5 seconds or so, 10 seconds, probably even better. Then taste. Completely different. You can keep another glass as a control if you'd like to go back and taste really the difference, but you don't need to. If you've got one, I'm going to show you how to demonstrate the wine test with this card. So what you're going to want to do, make sure you have glasses. You don't need to have a wine glass. You could have drinking glasses, just not plastic. Very important. So what you're going to want to do is pour some wine. Gulp, 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 gulp. There we go. I have some. I would like to smell the wine first. It could be great wine, and this is great wine. This is sourced by the Dry Farm Wines Company. Or it could be $2 Chuck, Coastal from Trader Joe's. It doesn't matter, and you'll see why when you taste it. So first, smell it. Then let's taste it, I guess. If you want to pretend to be a sommelier, you can do this, stir it around. Just make sure you have a good understanding of what the wine tastes like. That's it. And you don't have to be a sommelier to notice the difference. What we're going to do then is simply wave the card over the wine. I like to blow gently just to make sure the frequencies go down. It can be this way, it can be this way, it doesn't matter. Okay? Now, it only takes 5 seconds if it's glass. That's it. The longer you do it, the more profound the difference is. But 5-10 seconds, you're done. Now, taste the wine. And you tell me the difference. There's no David Blaine in this. What we did was oxygenate the liquid in the wine, 63%. That's measurable with a dissolved oxygen meter. We made any sulfites or contaminants in this wine inert. So no sulfite headache. You can still get a hangover from alcohol, but not from sulfites. And we restructured the liquid from regular molecular structure of water that's in it to structured water, EZ, the letters EZ, or fourth phase water. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Amazing properties and much healthier for you. So that is the wine test. Very simple. And this is the quantum card. You've got one of these. I'm just going to show you how to do the lemon test in case you forgot or you had questions. You want glasses, preferably. Plastic does not work as well. You want the fake lemon juice or a lemon, but not an organic lemon, but preferably like the Real Lemon brand or any off fake lemon juice. And 2 glasses. So I've got these little packets, but you don't need packets. You can get the bottles in the grocery store. They sell these things everywhere. Okay, so that's in 1 glass and in this glass. Now, unlike the wine test, you want to wave the card over 1 glass and taste that one first. 5 seconds, you can wave it this way, this way. I blow on it a little bit. If it's glass, it'll take 5 seconds. That's it. If somebody tastes this, and then just taste this. Dramatic difference. You can also use apple cider vinegar, which you probably have on hand, especially if you're a biohacker or a health person, and you may not have this stuff on hand. This is the quantum card. Chances are you have one of these because I'm going to show you one of the demos you can do with this card to show some of the properties that it has. I don't drink Coke, Pepsi, any sodas, soft drinks, whatever you want to call them, but it's a great demo to show people that do or just for the demo. So this is a brand new bottle that I'm going to open. Hear the little hissing there? Take a little hot. So I'm going to pour some of into this glass. There's a little carbonation there. Now what I'm going to do It's a little sip. Okay, Coke. Then wave the card this way or this way, doesn't matter. Blow for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, doesn't matter. And you may notice that almost all of the carbonation is gone, because what this demonstrates is that we oxygenated the water 63% and restructured it. So now, if I taste it, and you'll notice on your end that it is significantly flattened. So if you're doing this with someone that's not with you, have them get a Coke, fresh one, or Pepsi, or whatever it is, pour it in their glass, then call them on FaceTime or Zoom. On your end, you're looking this way. On their end, they will turn the camera so it's facing the other way. They put it over the glass. You guide them to make sure it's direct line of sight. And on your end, you just blow, because on their end, they're pointing down into the glass. And boom, same effect. This will absolutely floor people as far as a demonstration. If you're a healthy person, you don't drink a whole lot of soft drinks. You can do this with champagne because it will flatten champagne. I would not suggest you use this when you're out drinking champagne because, again, it'll flatten it. So that's the Coke test with the quantum card. With the quantum card, chances are you have one of these, because I'm going to demonstrate to you how to demonstrate the strength test from the benefits of being grounded from the card. This is my friend Dusty. Dusty, interlace your hands behind your back, like we talked about, and then stick them away from your body. So what I'm going to do is kind of a control is, I'm going to push down on Dusty. He's going to lose his balance. Okay, reset again, Dusty. Hands away from your body. Ready? Okay. Stand there. Now I'm going to ground him. Bad Dusty. Bad. That's his joke, by the way. So the way that I ground him, 2 ways. I've got water that I filled up in a cobalt blue glass spray bottle. You could use an amber one. You fill that with water, wave the card over it, and anything you spray will have the properties of the card. So I've already done that, okay? So I'm going to cover your eyes. And Dusty is now grounded. I'm going to give him the double whammy and wave the card all around him. And we're going to put it in his back pocket. Now, Dusty, put your arms back the same way that you did before. Okay, he's not going anywhere. Still not going anywhere. He is grounded. And we're going to demonstrate the quantum card. Dusty's got it. Show the card. I don't want to touch it because this is going to be a demonstration of the improvement in strength and range of motion from the grounding and earthing properties of the card. So I'm going to demonstrate an improvement in range of motion with the card by starting without the card, simply turning as far, and this is for you to show you have the card. So this is one of the things you can demonstrate to people, is the improvement in range of motion, because seeing me do it isn't going to do any benefit, right? So I'm just going to turn as far as I can. And then I'm going to put the card in my pocket, and then Dusty's going to spray me down. And what is in this bottle, by the way, is just water that we filled up, wave the card over it for at least 5-10 seconds. Now anything you spray with this, you'll get the benefits of waving the card. So I've got the double whammy. I've got the card in my pocket, and I was sprayed. So now, same thing. Significant improvement in range of motion. That's another demonstration of the benefits of the quantum card. This video, I'm going to show you how to use the card to ground your bed. And if your bed's been really bad, you can tell it can't leave your bedroom for a whole month at least. So that was quantum humor. So all you need to do, and you can do this virtually, I'll show you how to do that in a second, grab 4 glasses. They can be any size, shape, whatever, as long as they're made from glass. Just blow over wave the card this way or this way over the glass for 10 seconds or so, longer if you like, to all 4 glasses, and then you're just going to place these under the 4 corners of your bed, supposing or assuming you have some space between the box spring or the mattress and where it hits the floor. So these go on the floor under the 4 corners of your bed. Your bed is now grounded, which means your sleep will greatly improve. Watch the little video from Clint Ober and Steven Sinatra on the benefits of grounding. And you may be familiar with a biomat or other devices or earthing mats that people will use on their beds This will do that even better because there's no EMFs coming off from electricity or other use to power those devices, because this is just structured, grounded water with the card. Check it once a week or so, because the water will evaporate. Just fill it back up, wave the card over it, boom.
And that is it safe to ground the human body indoors when we're surrounded by dirty electricity and EMFs all the time, around the clock? My medical opinion is it's not only safe, it's actually one of the best things you can do to make your health resilient and protect your body from the wear and tear of these exposures that we really don't have that much control over. It's not that grounding makes EMF safe. I'm not sitting here saying that these exposures are safe and okay for our body. I actually don't think they are. But grounding is one of the ways that we can help mitigate. We can't control all the exposures that are around us and the insult that this is doing to our body. But what we can control in our body's health is our resiliency. And to me, health is all about being resilient. Health isn't about having no toxic exposures and living in a bubble. Health is about surviving in the world that is around us and being resilient to it. And the best way I know how to do that is to ground. So I find the message of not grounding the body because of fear of EMF exposure to be really one of the worst messages we can give in medicine. And I have over 20 years of medical literature that backs that statement up. And all of these studies were done using indoor grounding products and in urban environments where there was constant EMF exposure. Cell phones, Wi-Fi, power lines, cell phone towers. All of these exposures were completely surrounding all the participants in every single study. Some of these studies were done in sleep labs, in hospitals, in rehab and retirement homes, in the patient's own home, which was in a city or in a kind of suburban lifestyle, which many of us live in. So all of these studies were not done in a completely remote, place where there was no exposure to EMFs. Every single one of them, for the years and years and years, and actually now decades that we've been studying this, they were all conducted under the exposure of these EMFs and this dirty electricity. So what the results show is that every positive result from every single study was documented and found under the conditions of dirty electricity and EMF exposure. So this is medical proof that grounding is natural and healing, and that healing still occurs even with EMF exposure while grounding. So it wasn't that was separated and grounding in and of itself was healing. It was that even under those conditions of EMF exposure and electrical activity all around and cell phones being used and all of that stuff, grounding heals the body. It is just in God's design. It is how our body is created. So my advice is to use grounding as a way to mitigate this exposure, because the studies clearly show that it does. Even with EMFs, even with dirty electricity, even with using a cell phone, even with having one in your pocket, even with all of the wiring and the power lines running above these patients, and even some of them being, hooked up to like an EEG machine as you're being grounded. Even under those conditions, the blood viscosity changed, the conductance in the muscles and the skin changed, the EEG patterns changed, the healing began in bone metabolism, in blood sugar stabilization, and metabolic changes, blood pressure, heart rate variability, just over and over and over and over. All of the medical literature shows that even under the conditions of this EMF overwhelm, the human body heals while being grounded. There's nothing else that is this healing reprieve that grounding is. So as we find out just how bad and insulting and toxic all these EMF exposures are to the human body, the only way I know to give our bodies some kind of resiliency to this is to continue to ground, and not only to make grounding recommended for our health, but actually probably mandatory at some point. It is going to be mandatory to give your body that break, to sleep grounded at night, so that it does have a chance to be in a healing state, which it probably doesn't really have during the day when it's ungrounded and surrounded by all these toxic exposures. This is your only chance, really, to give your body the time and the space to get into that healing zone. So I believe grounding is going to shift from being something that's healthy and pleasurable and recommended and eases symptoms and eases pain and makes you feel better, to something that's absolutely mandatory to longevity and resilience. So it doesn't depend on a supplement. It doesn't depend on a food. It doesn't depend on the air. It doesn't depend on the water quality. What it depends on is just direct contact. That's it. And your entire body instantly benefits. That's why I say there's no amount of time that's too short to reap benefits from being grounded. But the medical studies have shown that the longer that you remain grounded, the larger the benefits are to your entire body. You know, to some of the organs that take longer to turn over, for some of the cellular processes to reap the benefits of the enhanced circulation. Now, there's immediate direct electrical support, but over time, the benefit to your circulatory system, over time the benefit to your hormonal balance, over time the benefit to the strengthening of your bones, to your endocrine system, to your blood sugar levels, to your metabolism, all those things are cumulative. So just like I say there's no time too short for being grounded, if you can walk barefoot for a second or touch a leaf for a second, do it. But if you can sleep grounded all night long, that to me is the only way we're going to really be able to mitigate the damage, the onslaught, the attack that we do have every day, all day, if you live in even a remote location these days, but certainly if you live in an urban environment, and certainly if you have a particular symptom or disease that you're trying to heal from. I don't see how we can do that under the onslaught that is our daily life. And the only way I know that has been medically proven over decades is to ground your body. Because being grounded, even with EMF exposures and dirty electricity all around you, you are in a healing state, and your body tells us that. And your body's parameters that are measurable and reproducible show us that in medical studies. And the more and more I find out about EMFs, the more I'm going to turn that into a less of a recommendation and more of a mandatory requirement if you want to have robust health in the world today. That's my medical opinion on grounding while being indoors, and I hope it was helpful to you.